Welcome in to today's Blue Sky Live. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio. Happy Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday upon us, Ash Wednesday tomorrow. So be safe and enjoy whatever spectacles you guys are getting into today. There is no baseball game. Went ahead preemptively yesterday and called that. Good. It was a good move. They're going to play Murray State one time tomorrow at 4 p.m., but they are not playing Southeastern Louisiana. The Lions did not have to try to travel from Hammond today just to not play once they got here. So good move for all involved there. Rebels back in action. Ole Miss basketball back in action tomorrow night as well, playing the Tennessee Volunteers at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. An 8 p.m. tip for senior night there at the Pavilion. So we'll cover some of those things today. We'll talk some football, couple news things going on around college football. FSU and Clemson staying in the ACC for at least the near future, and some other details here with you today. A show brought to you every day by Blue Sky locations throughout the state of Mississippi, up and down I-55, throughout North Mississippi as well. And if you got a Sweet Daddy's location nearby, they got some catering going on. You can take advantage of those catering options, everything from smoked brisket to pulled pork, slabs of ribs. You get chicken tenders, party wings, sides, potato logs. Those have been popular on this here podcast over the course of the decade plus. Got peach cobbler. Got a lot of options there. Sweet Daddy's. All you got to do, catering orders, 601-551-5008. 24 hours notice with that. So, again, give them a call, 601-551-5008. We're coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900's that number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours, right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do. Let's hop into a Clark Ford today, 662-257-1900. Guest join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit CampbellClinicOxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
Yeah, GJG. I have no problem wearing pink. I wear a lot of pink, but this is more red than pink today. It's not necessarily pink for what I have on, but yeah, I got no problem with any pastel. Wear a lot of pastels. So
yes,
all good.
The color that you wear does not dictate your sexuality.
Apparently not.
The only thing that dictates your sexuality is what you are sexually attracted to. That's it. Literally, it stops right there. Not what you eat, drink, wear. Nope.
Pink shirts, tiger outfits, or whatever that was in Baton Rouge yesterday. Whatever sees fit.
He was dressed as a jungle cat, but it is quite possible that he was either coming to or
leaving a Mardi Gras
party to watch the women's basketball game.
He caught a parade, caught a game, went on about his day. So
I heard there were huge crowds in Mobile for their. Yeah. I think it's Joe Kane. Is what they call it. It's been a minute.
Okay. Did you ever partake in those?
No, because I was usually in Auburn the first week of March because I had basketball or spring football or whatever.
I should head to the Pavilion tomorrow night. I could hang out with Wes. I could take him a gift basket or something.
Will Wes be there? Does he travel?
I don't know. He was earlier in the year for sure. I don't know about now. Yeah. So you can let me know. I'll pass on that tomorrow.
I don't know that I've ever talked to Wes in person.
I know I haven't. We've argued on Twitter like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
that's been it. So nah.
I mean, I've had my arguments with people on Twitter, but I don't think he's one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
He's just so high strung. Gives me a rooting interest though. Lets me root against Tennessee, and sometimes it's fun. It's fun when they lose.
Yeah,
Tennessee on Twitter is fun, and A&M's message board is fun. Those I think are my 2 favorites: A&M's board, Tennessee Twitter. That's the 2.
I'm doing Tony Basilio's show later this morning.
Okay,
I like Tony. It seems to do a good job. He's been a staple of Tennessee media for a long time. I actually like a lot of the media that cover the Vols. I like Rick Barnes a lot. It's weird. I don't know.
I think Rick gets a bad rap. He's a good basketball coach. Kind of with you there.
No, he's a really good coach.
Yeah.
These are really good. The whole, he's never won a title. It's really hard to win a title. I can't stand that. That's one of my things. I don't know. It's one of those. It's a show we should never do, but like I think it would surprise people to find out like which media outlets, which media beats we like, and which ones we don't.
That's interesting.
Because like there's a bunch.
It might be surprising to folks.
There's a bunch that you'd be surprised at how I feel about them probably.
Oh, okay. Hey, look, we're gonna have some random Wednesdays coming up. So
no doubt.
Hey, we gotta fill it with something.
It's just a matter of how many enemies you feel like making.
Well, let me tell you about this beat real quick. All right, good, sweet. All right.
Yeah, because there's like one that I'm in particular thinking of.
That you like, that people would be shocked that you like?
That there are 2 or 3 people personally that I like, but professionally, I hate that beat.
Oh,
beyond words.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And it would surprise people. Yet on an individual level, 2 or 3 of them, I really like them more than I like the overwhelming majority of the people in our field. And I'm a guy that keeps a distance from a lot of people because I don't really check many of the modern media boxes.
One of the fun things about that, and it's why I would have some at least decent guesses on what you're talking about, is when we do the podcast during football season and it's, hey, you got to get the media guy from that school. And sometimes there's like 2 or 3. We go, no, so-and-so and so-and-so. We'll do that. It's whatever. Then sometimes we go, so who are we talking to over there? What do you got?
Yeah.
Who you got at that beat, huh? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think my favorite beat in the whole league is South Carolina.
They're high. They're really high.
All those guys are great.
Yeah.
I like
Chris Clark's a good dude.
Chris Clark's a fantastic
Shoemaker's
guy.
a good dude.
Great guy.
Yeah. Yeah. South Carolina's up there. That's true. From a sheer working with another beat and kind of enjoying them, I think Carolina's the one team I wish was like in the division if you had divisions. Like you could bring into Ole Miss's sphere more because they don't play.
For sure.
I don't need Kentucky. It's fine. I like some of those dudes.
I actually like most of those guys.
Yeah. They might be one of the nicer beats.
Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, that might be one of the more pleasurable.
I mean, and in fairness, before we start casting stones, our beat's weird as hell.
Oh, yeah, we're not. I mean,
we're not particularly mean, but our beat's weird.
Yeah, not mean. That's not the right word.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of dynamics there.
It's interesting.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get sports, but I saw this, and I'm with 75% of the population when it comes to this product. So Domino's yesterday, did you see this? Domino's launched stuffed crust pizza in the United States yesterday.
I thought they already had stuffed crust pizza.
I was stunned. I was reading from Morning Brew this morning looking for podcast topics. And it says that nearly 3/4 of Domino's customers thought they already offered stuffed crust, but they did not. Yesterday, Domino's launched it amid declining sales compared to other chain pizza places. Pizza Hut started this in 1995. And yet, in my mind, the 3 national chains that I signify with chain pizza are Papa John's, Pizza Hut, and Domino's.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Sure. Yeah.
I guess Little Caesars too, but I don't really count that. The 3 that I count are Papa John's, Pizza
No
Hut.
offense. Little Caesars, if you'd like to, we're here. But when I think Little Caesars, I think little kids' birthday parties.
Yeah, sure. And the grab and go where you can go in and they got the pepperoni under the heat lamp and it's $7 and you go on out or $5 or whatever. Not good pizza.
There went that sponsor deal. There it went.
I can learn to love you. You can prove me wrong.
Go.
We can do a mukbang. You can bring it in. You can prove me wrong. We'll get going. But this is kind of odd to me. Is Pizza Hut starts this in 1995, actually with a TV ad featuring Donald Trump in 95. Sales of the stuffed crust sold $300 million in the first year for Pizza Hut. In 1995, which think about inflation, that's a lot of money today. The other 2, Papa John's didn't chime in and start stuffed crust until 2020. And then Domino's now. So they allowed Pizza Hut to have a complete monopoly on national chain stuffed crust when it's worked for 25 years. Is that not odd from a straight business practice?
Yeah, I mean, all of this is brand news to me.
I mean, I'm not asking for something deep, like whatever, but just I thought, what the hell? Like if I'm the CEO,
Pizza Hut has always offered stuffed crust.
1995, yes. And I remember because they did like the whole "eat it backwards" thing was the commercial. like eat the crust first.
Oh,
Like that
yeah,
was
yeah.
like their thing.
Creative.
Says competitors including Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, and Papa John's collectively sell stuffed crust to almost 13 million Domino's stalwarts every year. Domino's chief marketing officer Kate Trumbull told CNBC that when Pizza Hut introduced the menu item in 1995, Domino's thought it was gimmicky and would cause kitchen bottlenecks. Again, Pizza Hut sold $300 million worth of stuffed crust in the first year. When Papa John's followed suit in late 2020, sales for the quarter jumped 30%. Cheese dough enthusiasm could help Domino's cushion the sluggish 0.4% sales growth it reported last week, especially since stuffed crust customers tend to buy more pizza regularly and spend more per visit than non-stuffers.
Oh.
How do you want your biggest competitor and probably the number one at that time especially just take the market? It's weird.
That is weird. Do you like stuffed crust pizza?
No.
I don't either.
No, I will have moods where I want hand tossed, but I'm typically thin crust.
Tupelo, get out of here with that slander. Get out of the stream with that slander. Emos, no, it's not.
It's a cracker with some toppings on it. That is the most overrated crap. You know, when you think, hey, who has the best pizza in the country?
Well, they use
you go New Haven, New York, St. Louis. That's what I do.
And they use that weird cheese that.
Oh, it is the not melted kind of stuff.
Yeah, get out of here.
It's the crust, the cracker crust. Because I ask people who actually are from St. Louis, most of the time they go, yeah, I don't know. Like, they don't even really.
It's kind of like the Cincinnati chili. It's like, we live here, we got to say it's good. But deep down, we know it's not. And so
you don't think most of Cincinnati defends the skyline?
They do defend it, but I think they only defend it because it's like, hey, this is the flag.
They don't actually go order it. Yeah, they don't.
I mean, people go get it, but.
Would you have yours fully loaded with spaghetti, the cheese and the onions and the whole thing?
Not the spaghetti.
Austin says Pizza Hut number 1, Papa John's number 2, 50 feet of crap, Little Caesars 3, and then the most disgusting thing you can think of, then Domino's.
Oh, wow.
I actually don't mind Domino's thin crust pizza.
It's okay.
I'm okay.
It's okay.
I prefer Pizza Hut, I think. I haven't had Papa John's in a while.
I'll throw one out random. No, this isn't a sponsor. I got in Saturday from the game late. It was one of those nightmare games where you can't write anything until it's over.
Yep.
So I was there quite some time.
Which month? This past week?
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Laura was out of town. She was at Kyo Mom's weekend. And so I got home. Carson was gone. And I texted them and stuff. And I was like, hey, are y'all eating here? What are you doing? And they're like, well, I don't know. We might eat something late. And I was like, well, there's nothing here to eat. And so I ordered pizza. And I went and got, it's on up the road from Secret Wendy's.
Uh-huh.
The buffalo chicken pizza at Pizza Shop was really good.
Okay.
There you go.
What made you go with buffalo chicken?
Knew Carson would like it, so went buffalo chicken so that he could have leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
It was good, though. Really good.
I do think I'm with G here. Says Pizza Hut is nostalgic, but last time I had it wasn't as good as I remember being a kid. Yeah, Pizza Hut's the ultimate. That's the one you wanted as a kid. Marketing was good. They had they had, as I said, the book it reading program where you got the personal pan, and then later you go, it's fine. Okay. I mean,
I can remember going to Pizza Hut was a treat. They had arcade, they had the video games in there, and they had the pizza bar.
Oh, Matt, no, there is nothing at all secret about that damn Secret Wendy's anymore. No. That whole area is not secret. Don't get it twisted.
It's expensive. Wendy's is what it is.
Oh, the audio's in and out? I don't know. I think it might be you because everybody else is yelling at us. So if somebody else has a problem, let me know. Oh, yeah, it says it. Sound's cutting out. I don't know. Ours looks fine on our monitor.
Yeah.
Completely nothing. Ecamm and the other thing. What?
No, something's happened to it.
Oh, it has?
Yep.
Oh, we're not recording on Audition. Well, that's weird. Okay, hold on a second, guys. If you can hear us.
I have no idea what to do with this. No clue.
So completely out now?
Just give it a minute and see what happens. I have no idea. It didn't do anything.
Yeah, they're saying delayed. Some people.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't touched anything, so I don't know.
Yeah, we'll give it a second.
It's one of those deals where to restart it, you've got to restart it.
Well, but our thing is not working up there, which is part of our issue.
We'll close this file.
Yeah, do that. That's fine. Yeah, it's interesting that some people can hear us and some can't.
Yeah, see, it won't even let me close the file. Let's see if I'll export it.
So Audition is frozen.
I can quit Audition and reopen it. It won't even let me quit Audition, see?
Yeah, they're saying that. All right, give us 1 second. Everybody refresh your screen real quick. Do that. Refresh if you can hear me. And then Neal, put up eCam. We'll be right back. Screen up for just 1 second. We'll be right back. Y'all just hang on a second. Just 1 second. We've got to be able to start our recording. So give us just 1 second. It's not letting you kill it.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. It seems to be working.
Okay, I think we are good to go. We're showing everything good on our end, so let us know. We'll wait just 15 seconds or so before we start back with the conversation. Gives me and also a good entry point for editing purposes here in a minute. So appreciate you guys bearing with us. Looks like most of you hung around. So just let us know now that we're back that you can hear us, and we'll continue the conversation. Yeah, they heard our check, so I think we're good.
Yep.
Okay. So I don't know where we were there in the pizza conversation, but nonetheless, it is a fireable offense that they allowed Pizza Hut to have that level of exclusivity on the stuffed crust there for that period of time. So
yeah,
it's
good. Surprising, but maybe it was just an ethical thing. They're like, it's not pizza if you stuff cheese in the crust. I don't know.
I don't mind Marco's. I've said this. It's kind of close to where I live. We get it delivered pretty often.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Like I said, if I want a pizza type experience, I get the bowl where there's no crust because I can eat the entire thing for about 700 calories. If you get the deluxe, I know I'm weird, but turning into Neal a little bit, but it's okay. I avoid the old world pepperoni because they're the ones with the oil filled in them. It kind of grosses me out, but otherwise I'm good there. They also don't get their wings. Their wings not very good. Pizza chain wings typically not. That's not the move.
They're not crispy enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he was saying, we'll finish that and we'll move on. He was saying Pizza Shop was pretty good. He was saying the barbecue chicken pizza was all right. That was your point, right?
Pizza Shop?
Yeah. It was okay, right?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was solid. I would go back. My favorite place in town is probably Ferdinand's.
Yeah, Ferdinand's really good. You've got to make a point a little bit, but yeah,
a little bit, but yeah, it's like 3 miles from here.
Yeah, regular size bin. I saw y'all say there's still a Pizza Doctor in Tupelo. I mean, that brought back like Little League baseball parties back in Amory in the day. We had a Pizza Doctor, and that was where you went for. Yeah. He says there's still one in Tupelo. So
the only pizza I'll get sentimental about is Johnny's, just because as a kid, Johnny's Pizza was like that was a special night. If we had Johnny's Pizza,
that was
a good night.
How often did you get Johnny's Pizza?
I mean, very, very not often.
Okay.
My parents cooked. We didn't eat out much. We rarely had Johnny's. We would do there was another we would do Pizza Hut. It seems like there was another pizza place in Ruston, but Johnny's was the one that Like when you went and hung out with your friends, you would go to Johnny's.
Okay.
After a football game on Friday night, I'd get Johnny's if I was hungry.
So did y'all have the chains? Like the chain restaurants?
Not really. Like I can remember McDonald's coming to Ruston. I was in junior high.
Okay.
It was a big deal. Chuck Redden came over from FM 102. They did a big remote.
Because I'll need Corey's help here. We got a McDonald's first, and then Wendy's built right next to McDonald's. And then I think our next one was actually the McDonald's in the Walmart. I think they put a McDonald's in the Walmart next.
Yeah, see, there's nothing special about that.
It was gimmicky as hell for like 6 months, and it was like, oh, that's the McDonald's in the Walmart. And then I like a lot of Walmarts. It went to a Subway after that, I think.
Oh,
that became a big thing with Subway. That was here, right? Too? Is it still there? No,
I don't know.
I don't protect a lot of Walmart here, so I don't know. And I always go in the other side. So if I
do everything I can to avoid Walmart.
I've heard it's a little better, actually. It's all right.
I mean, it's not personal. Just not my jam.
Yeah, Pizza Den, if you go there, you don't get pizza. You get the subs. You get the turkey and gravy or the stromboli or something like that. You don't do
that's still going?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good for them. I didn't mean that in a bad way.
Like, I thought that closed in 92. What are you talking about?
Kind of did. Wow. Good for them.
Yeah, Pizza Den has pizza, but that's not the play.
How about that? I'm mind blown right now a little bit.
No, you go in, you get the stromboli or the turkey and gravy. They take the big bag of white potato chip, like the white bag of potato chips, and just dump them out into the tray. You get how many ever you get when they do the dump, and then they hand you the sandwich, and you move on with your day.
How about that? Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what the pizza place is now close to ICC. The only place I've eaten in Fulton is the Merc here in the last year or so.
I've heard Victor's in Holly Springs is really good. I've heard that.
Okay, help me with the history lesson, guys, because there's Victor's in Holly Springs, but isn't the person that owns Victor related to Pizza Bob and the old? Yeah, like that's right. That's a relative.
I thought they were related to the people that ran Dino's back in the day.
All right. Yeah, there's some connection there. Yeah, I think it's because it soaks up whatever grease. Okay, it says those potato chips are better for whatever reason out of the big white bag. It's because it's being dumped in with your sandwich that has all the trimmings and I'm starving. The oils and fats and everything that come in with it. So yes, a regular like Lay's type potato chip that is sitting in cheese and oil. It's better than the regular one that's
Go
not.
Figure.
I'm sorry. I know we have sports today. I'd rather talk about this.
Really don't have sports.
We really don't today, honestly.
Not really. I mean, there's some SEC games. Everybody's in the damn tournament anyway. What difference does it make? I mean,
y'all are all in. It's okay.
We had a pre-show conversation about. I woke up on Twitter and I saw Clay Travis going off on the NBA again, and then he kind of talked about MLB, and then I was reading some of the numbers. Like MLB's not really producing much money either. And we were just talking about how we've become from a sports, at least in this country, from a sports culture, it's just football. Everything else is niche, including basketball and baseball on every level, really. Football. There's a reason. I mean, look.
The NFL is way up on its mountaintop, and then college football is somewhere toward the middle of that mountain.
Way down the mountain. And then everything else is down at the bottom.
Looking up, going, I'll be down.
So, okay. I mean, I'm not a big ESPN talking heads guys, but there's a reason they do what they do. I mean, there's a reason they talk NFL all day long. It's because that's where your audience is, I suppose. I mean, I don't have their internal metrics, but apparently ESPN's offer to MLB was, we'll keep going, but we want to cut the price 2/3.
Oh, wow.
And MLB was like, no, we're not doing that. And ESPN was like, okay, cool, peace out.
What are they going to fill the time with?
I have no idea. I mean, I guess Patrick Mahomes' lunch order. I don't know. More NFL?
Because, it's
not really even college football. And college football does really well. But it's NFL all the time. I mean, the combine, which I guess is a little bit of a combination crossover of college and pro, but it's mostly pro. The combine stuff does really well. People sit and watch guys just run sprints.
I was asked if there was ever going to be college baseball in that slot to kill time, and no, I don't think so for a multitude of reasons. College baseball teams don't want to play on Sunday nights, just schedule it logistic-wise. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
That was a thing back, when Swayze Field opened in 88 or 89, whatever year it was. I should know this. I wrote about it. 89, I think. The first game was broadcast by Tim Brando and Tug McGraw, and it was because they were doing a dress rehearsal game together because they were the new Sunday night ESPN lead.
Yep.
And they were using some college baseball as Sunday intros into them getting the contract with ESPN for the first time. So, yeah. But anyway, okay. Ole Miss is, I think, a 7 or 8 seed in bracketology. I'll pull that up in a second. We'll talk a little college basketball here in a minute. Before we do, I'll tell you about G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer MedSync. For your prescriptions the same day each month and take care of you. One trip to the pharmacy, one delivery. You have everything you need when you need it with G&M. Also easy to transfer those medications. One phone call, they take care of the rest. So whether it be Holly Springs, maybe G&M, Victor's, the whole deal, or Oxford, 662-236-2222.
Brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer, 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, South Haven, those areas, call Southern, 662-429-4429. I'll have coverage from Tennessee at Ole Miss tomorrow night. That'll be brought to you also by Window Hero. From window cleaning to pressure washing, gutter cleaning, gutter guards, and everything in between, Window Hero has the experience, equipment, and expertise to make your property look and feel brand new. If you're in North Mississippi, let Window Hero make your home or business's exterior look amazing. Get in touch with Roby and Susan Allen. They are dedicated to helping Oxford and all of North Mississippi with their windows, gutters, and everything in between. 662-510-7077 or windowhero.com. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with a personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Sego Wealth Management specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. So whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting. See what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. Arnett's Fine Jewelry is a fourth-generation jeweler located in the old Lamons Jewelry Building, North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They offer expert jewelry repair, diamond engagement rings, wedding bands, stackable diamonds, genuine stone bands, pearls, genuine color stones, diamond jewelry, and more. At Arnett's, they want to be your jeweler. When you work with Argent Welt's 401k advisory services, you gain a valuable advisory team and time-saving resource that will help you develop and maintain a solid strategy for your retirement plan. They're committed to providing you with the personalized attention and providing you with involvement that you want and need. Their goal is to help you manage your 401k plan properly and ultimately improve your employment's retirement readiness. It's myargentwealth.com.
So let's get into a little bracketology here. I saw Houston knocked off Kansas last night, and I guess the one significant game around the country, Duke won, but they won by 33 or something.
At this point, I don't think Houston's not picking on you. I don't think Houston's knocking off Kansas. I think Houston's just taking care of business. Houston's a legitimate title contender. I don't think Kansas is.
No, not at all. They're 19 and 11 or 12 now, something like that.
They've really fallen off.
Bill Self having to tell the fans to chill over there in Lawrence.
And he's
got a point.
He was right.
Mm-hmm. I know you're shocked that Auburn is the number 1 seed here in the tournament for Joe Lunardi in his update yesterday. Georgia, first team out in the field. Texas, last team in. So SEC teams across the board there. On that, Joe sticking with 13 SEC teams in the field yesterday, 11 for the Big 10, 12 for the Big 8. 8 from the Big 12. Got those inversed. 4 from the Big East, 3 from the ACC, down to 3. Mountain West at 3, and West Coast Conference at 2. Your 1 seeds, Auburn, the number 1 seed. Number 4 1 seed is Duke. And then the 2 and 3 1 seeds are Alabama and Houston in his field. He has Illinois an 8 seed, almost played them in an exhibition. He's got Vanderbilt a 9 seed. He has that as a first-round matchup, the Illini and the Commodores. You mentioned Clemson and Michigan being 2 wins for the SEC in multiple ways. Out of the non-conference, he has Michigan a 4, Clemson a 5 here. And then he has Texas, a 12 seed, as a play-in game against Ohio State to get to Clemson. That is the way that is set up. So Texas, a 12 seed in this field. He has Kentucky, a 3 seed in this bracket, and Mississippi State, a 7 seed in this bracket. And here's one thing that I do think you guys have to just go ahead, and not that you're not, but I think it's worth calling attention to for a second. When you have 13 teams, they're going to be matched up all over the place inside these brackets because you have to put them somewhere. 13 divided by 4 means at least 3 teams in each region plus another one somewhere. So that is why when you're sitting here, Auburn is the 1, but inside their 16 region is Vanderbilt, Texas, Kentucky, and Mississippi State.
Yeah.
In this. Now, Texas in a play-in game, maybe they don't get there. However,
right,
they are in the field at that point. In Houston's region, you have St. John's as a 4, kind of interesting team to follow. BYU an 8. Ole Miss has a win over BYU this season. Oklahoma in a play-in game against Indiana as an 11 seed to face St. Mary's, the 6. Louisville, a 7 seed right now. They've done a hell of a job. Pat Kelsey's done a good job there. Are they still at like 2 ACC losses, something like that? I think it's 2.
I think so.
Maybe 3, but somewhere.
So this has 13. So South Carolina, LSU, and Arkansas out.
I'm assuming. I haven't gotten to that yet, but that would make sense to me. Florida is the 2 seed in this region. Mm-hmm. So Florida would be the 2 in Houston's as of this bracket projection. Alabama's division, you get them as the 1. A Maryland McNeese State 5-12 game. You get Texas A&M is still a 3 seed, despite being 9-7 in the SEC there for the Aggies, and then Ole Miss is in this region as well. This is Alabama's region. Ole Miss and Baylor, a 7-10 matchup. Oh. And in this projection, Michigan State is the 2 seed. That game is in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
Your teams in Cleveland are Ole Miss, Baylor, Michigan State, Robert Morris, Louisville, West Virginia, Florida, and Central Connecticut State.
Oh. I'd go watch the Gators.
Yeah, I was about to say, you get the Gators too while you're there. Well, you got to take Todd some envelopes and, get some stuff done. I mean, we'll check in.
I'm getting my money's worth.
They're probably going to have one of those like NIL parties for their people somewhere in Cleveland before
stroke my check.
Yeah, of course. In Duke's region, UConn at 9 seed is so overseeded. Like they're gonna get a higher seed than they deserve. They're not very good. I mean, I like watching them. Hurley cracks me up, but they're not very good.
They're going to get rewarded a little bit for scheduling.
Yeah. Missouri is a 5 seed in this bracket.
And again, I'll repeat this. You've got to put 68 teams in a 68-team field. I'll get into this. I made a big post on the message board yesterday.
I saw that.
That a lot of people, I don't think they fully grasped what I was trying to project. So we'll talk about it in a minute. Go ahead.
Okay. Missouri a 5. Purdue a 4 seed. Texas Tech a 3, UCLA a 6, Memphis a 7. They're, what's been funny about them is their net doesn't match their seed. They're going to be seeded way higher than their net would seem to correlate to. And no, Arkansas is in this field. 7-10, Arkansas just straight in against Memphis, the 7 seed. And then Tennessee awaiting the next round. So that quad is Memphis, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Norfolk State.
If Memphis shows up, they'd smoke Arkansas right now. Arkansas down to 7 dudes. Tiro Adu not playing tonight either.
So who the hell did? Oh, Georgia didn't get in. It's Georgia, LSU, South Carolina.
Okay, Georgia's in.
I like Georgia more than Arkansas and Oklahoma right now.
I mean, Georgia metrically is better than both of those teams.
They have Texas the last team in and Georgia the first team out. And Arkansas a 10.
I mean, I'm not debating any of that. Which team's better, actually better basketball, but metrically, Georgia's a better team. Look, Georgia is one of these teams have not lost a game outside of Quad 1.
Okay, go ahead. Yep.
Auburn, Duke, Houston, Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, St. John's, Ole Miss, Georgia, and Indiana.
Again, all of their losses are Quad 1 losses, meaning home against the top 30, neutral top 50, away top 75.
Yes. Missouri is 6-8 in Quad 1. St. John's is 3-4. Ole Miss is 5-9. Georgia and Indiana are 4-11 each. Here's the part with the SEC that the national people aren't going to get. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I wrote this, and I probably it got liked by some people. We'll see. All right, it's a 68-team field. You got to put 68 teams in the tournament. Are there 68 good teams? No. So you have to put teams in that have no chance to win in the tournament. Then you start talking about in basketball. They've been pretty consistent with this. What hurts you? Bad losses. Go look at the ACC, Mountain West, Big East. Those teams have bad losses. The SEC just doesn't. Mm. The SEC cumulative against Quad 4 is as of yesterday, 101-1.
Who's the one?
South Carolina lost a game. Okay. I can't remember to who.
Okay.
Against Quad 3, the SEC is 45-1. Oklahoma lost to UCF.
Against Quad 3.
So they have no bad losses.
Wow.
So when you take these teams like Texas and Georgia and Oklahoma and Arkansas, those are probably the 4 at this point. When you take those teams, they don't have anything really glaring on their resumes that are bad, and they all have really good wins. We talked about it. Georgia beat St. John's. Arkansas beat Michigan in New York. All of these teams have good wins. They don't have any terrible, glaring warts. And so they end up getting in because metrically they sort of deserve it.
South Carolina in its season opener lost at home to 258 North Florida.
That's it. So that's the one Quad 4 loss.
The Ospreys.
It's the one. And then so UCF beat Oklahoma, I think on a neutral floor. That ends up being a Quad 3 loss. Everybody else, every other SEC loss is Quad 2 or Quad 1.
It's crazy.
And so, when you start breaking things down metrically, what do you do? And so supposedly, and I heard this yesterday, and I think it's true. Now, look, they're human, so they're going to know what league we're talking about in the room. But supposedly in the room in Indianapolis, conference record is not included. It's not on the sheet.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah.
So if you're charged with doing, quote, blind analysis.
Yeah, and well, I mean, just justification-wise, if conference record's not on the sheet, you can't look at any of those teams and go, no, this one's better.
Yeah, so people go, well, so you're going to let 5-13 Oklahoma in? And they're like, well, the 5-13 never shows up on the board. It's not there.
No, I'm saying they have 6 top 60 wins, and the other team has 2.
Yes.
And then I go, okay.
And so if you tell me that Oklahoma doesn't make the field, I'll tell you it's because of a Quad 3 loss, not because of 13 SEC losses. Because the 13 SEC losses are, pardon my French here, a blank ton of Quad 1s. Well, those don't count against you, really. Mm-hmm. And then they have wins. Oklahoma has some really good wins.
Triple makes a good point. From a net standpoint, game control matters. It's one of the reasons why you can get screwed up even if you win a game or lose a game, depending on how you do it. The SEC blew a lot of these teams out. These non-conference games were not close. They were 10, 15-point wins, 20-point wins, dominating throughout.
Yeah.
I mean, Ole Miss at Louisville, they just beat the hell out of them that night.
It was a huge game for Ole Miss.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Metrically, it gave them so much.
But that's the thing. And I don't know how many national media people are going to just do basic research and look at it and go, oh, well, okay. And I've said this, it's a broken record, but we're getting closer to the day. And so I do find it quite interesting. If you don't reward SEC teams for playing competitive non-league schedules where they dominated, they're not going to do it again.
Lenardi has the last 4 byes, meaning avoiding the play-in game, is Baylor, San Diego State, Arkansas, and Nebraska. So, I mean, in this world, Ole Miss would be getting a very good draw because they'd get one of the last teams without a bye from a metric seed standpoint. Last 4 in, Oklahoma, Indiana, Ohio State, and Texas in that order. So he has Oklahoma safer than Texas right now by 3 spots. Interesting.
Yeah. And they play each other Saturday.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Feels critical. First 4 out, Georgia first, North Carolina.
I think Georgia's in, but go ahead.
North Carolina, Boise State, Xavier. Next 4 out. Wake Forest, SMU, Cincinnati, Villanova. So the ACC, I guess there's a world where 2 of those 3 teams win a couple games late, but they are staring 3 to 4 bids in the face right now from an ACC standpoint.
I'm pulling this up because I'm just genuinely curious. All right, so ACC.
Yep.
ACC has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quad 4 losses.
7.
They have 1, 2, 4, 7, 10, 12.
Oh, God.
16, 18, 20, 23, 26, 28,
Seriously?
33, 38 quad 3 losses.
38.
So again, there's your number, right? There's your. I feel like I'm election night big board. But if you're letting ACC teams in, they have 38 quad 3 losses. The SEC has 1.
38.
I mean, so it's this stuff is pretty elementary. I mean, it's pretty elementary, honest to God.
I do think if North Carolina is one of the last couple out, they will get in.
I mean, I do too, because there's a human element.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how you justify not putting Georgia in the field right now. I mean, in full disclosure, I'm friends with Mike White. Okay, there you go. I like Mike a lot.
I do too.
So what? They're 33 in the net. They are 18-11 overall, 2-7 on the road. There's a negative. 2-1 neutral. There's a positive. They're 4-11 in quad 1, 3-0 in quad 2, 3-0 in quad 3, 8-0 in quad 4. I mean, there's not a lot of meat on the bone, but there's nothing negative. Oklahoma's 53 in the net. They have 5 quad 1 wins, 3 quad 2 wins. Arkansas's 47 in the net. Arkansas 17-12 overall, 3-6 on the road, 1-2 neutral, 4-9 in quad 1, 2-3 in quad 2, then 4-0, 7-0 if I'm reading that right. I mean, not a lot of meat on that bone either. But again, there's nothing negative. Like those ACC teams, you can pick them apart with, oh my God, you did what?
Completely agree.
You know, I mean, Texas is 1 spot ahead of Arkansas in the net, 46. 16-13 overall. So right away, you know, they played a really competitive schedule. 3-6 on the road, 2-1 neutral, 4-9 in quad 1, 2-4 in quad 2, and then a collective 10-0 in quads 3 and 4. Again, somebody said to me yesterday, I think it was Gabe DeArmond, and goes, and they want to expand the tournament. No, you don't need to expand the damn tournament.
What do they want to go to? 76?
I don't know, but you don't need to add anything to this. You're adding bad teams.
I was fine with 64. Thought 64 was a good number.
Well, they're doing the 68 because that's a successful event in Dayton.
It's done well in every way. They support it. People watch.
Oh, it's fun. I've been there. It's awesome. I mean, it's packed and loud and feels like a really great high school gym on steroids. People are excited about it. It's a big event there. But that's why they do it. And it gives them programming on Tuesday and Wednesday nights leading into the tournament.
Go over the games real quick. Tonight, actually a pretty packed schedule. We got 5 tonight. Georgia is at South Carolina, so a must-win for Georgia, feels like here.
I mean, I think
South Carolina favored by 1.5 tonight.
Well, they've beaten Texas and Arkansas at home here in the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Georgia again 6-10, Carolina 2-14. That's at 5:00 SEC Network, so early game there. 6:00 ESPN2. LSU is at Kentucky tonight, so okay, Kentucky safely in. Big line. Kentucky favored by 12 at home tonight at Rupp against LSU. In Starkville tonight, Texas is at Mississippi State. Mississippi State 8-8 in the league. Again, Kentucky and State are two to watch from an Ole Miss seeding standpoint because you have to stay ahead of a couple teams to get that first night off in Nashville for the SEC tournament. Kentucky and Mississippi State both coming into the week one game behind Ole Miss, but they both have easier schedules than the Rebels. So just
I got talked into the 9 could happen. I got talked into and the 8 could happen. I've been.
You mean like they beat Tennessee tomorrow?
They beat Tennessee tomorrow. They're
not guaranteed, but it looks pretty good.
They beat Tennessee tomorrow. They're probably 7 or 7.
They're tied with A&M at 7 right now. They would be at 6. They're the 7 losing the tiebreak right now. The problem is that some of these teams behind you have abilities to go 2-0 this week. They don't have crazy schedules, whereas you have a very crazy schedule to close. That's the problem. You have to stay one.
I've already counted Saturday as an L.
Yeah. You have to tie.
Attack me if you'd like.
You have to tie Vanderbilt, State, and Kentucky this week to stay ahead of any of them.
Otherwise, they'll fall to the 9.
They could, or even the 10. They could fall all the way to the 10. But you told me yesterday one of those is safe because it plays at noon. So we're good.
The 8-9 is the noon game. And I had people talk me into, that's where they're headed. I'm like, hey, sign me up.
Yes. But
now I'm worried. Now I'm worried about the 10 because I don't want to cover Wednesday night and then have to turn around and cover Thursday night.
Correct.
Because that gets old.
Auburn is at Texas.
And it's about me, damn it.
It's about you. Auburn is at Texas A&M tonight. That is Auburn minus 5.5 on the road in College Station.
Siski's got this as watch a big red flag alert for the Tigers. They've clinched the league.
Okay.
Got Bama coming up.
I mean, maybe so, but I'm not spending my money on that hope and prayer. I mean, I could see it, but I'm not going to put a 20 down on it.
No.
State, by the way, is favored by 7.5 tonight against Texas.
Tyler, by the way, going for all the upsets tonight.
Is he?
He's got multiple upsets happening tonight.
Who else?
He's got.
Does he have Texas beating State tonight?
I don't think he picked that one. He had Arkansas beating Vanderbilt.
Vandy by 7.5 is your line. That's 9 o'clock tonight on SEC Network.
9 o'clock?
9.
Ain't no way. It's not happening.
9 Central.
Why?
Because they're doing double headers, or even doing a triple header. They're doing Georgia, Carolina at 5, Texas State at 7, and Arkansas, Vanderbilt at 9.
No.
Tonight.
Nope. Who's Georgia? Yeah. Go with, what are the other games?
Georgia at South Carolina.
Yeah, he had Georgia winning that.
LSU at Kentucky.
He had Kentucky winning that.
Texas and Mississippi State. Auburn, A&M, Arkansas, Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I can't remember the 3. He had 3 upsets. One was Arkansas, one was A&M, and one was somebody.
Wednesday, just quickly with Ole Miss's Day, Florida, it's at Alabama. 6 o'clock ESPN2. Missouri, Oklahoma, 7 o'clock SEC Network. And Tennessee, Ole Miss, again, 8 o'clock ESPN2 for that one. Interesting mock draft. I want to go over that in a second. We'll talk a little combine in a minute as well. Before we do that, let me tell you about the Declaration of Independence Center for the Study of American Freedom. It's located on the Ole Miss campus, and they aim to explore and examine the fundamental and founding principles of the United States of America. They offer an academic minor in freedom studies, scholarship opportunities for Ole Miss students, and bring along lots of networking potential. To learn more, contact Steven Scoltetti or Rankin Shirley at freedom@olemiss.edu or visit independence.olemiss.edu.
Brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. If you're trying to plan a trip, maybe for the summer, maybe you're already thinking ahead to the holidays, you want a trip that creates a lifetime of unique memories, get in touch with John. Give him some parameters. Give him a budget. That's really important. And then he'll give you some options that you probably aren't going to find on your own. He'll plan it. Lots of people have taken advantage of this, and they'll tell you all about how much they enjoyed working with John. You will too. 901-494-3387 or Jay Edwards at regencytravel.net. Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using a conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. Located in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana, Parrish Brewing Company's simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer. The tournament is upon us. It's March Madness. Sit around, have yourself some stuffed crust pizza and wings. Wash it down with the Parrish Brewing Company beer. You'll love it. You got Ghost in the Machine, Envy, Dr. Juice, Canebrake, and more. Got a coffee stout that's out that looks excellent from our friends at Parrish Brewing Company, wherever you get your beer, whether it's the grocery store, the bar, restaurant. Ask for Parrish Brewing Company. You won't regret it.
Podcast also brought to you by the Citizens Bank, not just an account number, but a valued member of the community. Now, if you find yourself in the market for a mortgage, another reason to give them a try. Wilson, and maybe in the mortgage space, now at the Citizens Bank, ready to help you with the real estate goals. Now, it's 902 Sisk Avenue, Suite E. Discuss your options with Whit or any of their experienced bankers who value your unique financial journey and make every moment uniquely yours. Also, ask about the School Spirit debit cards. They donate an amount per every transaction to the local school of your choice, whether it's Oxford, Lafayette, or Regents. That's the Citizens Bank, PHILA.com. Nothing to really necessarily break down, but Jackson Dart certainly helped himself over the course of the NFL Combine over last week. He was arguably the best thrower who did throw. Ward and Sanders did not throw on the week. He handled the interview portions well, all the media stuff. Nobody's shocked by any of that. So he did nothing but put more positives in his checklist moving toward the draft. Here, ESPN out with a 2-round mock this morning, I see. And they have the Giants not just taking Cam Ward, but trading up to do so, to take Mr. Ward. It says that their options at this point seem to be to go to Aaron Rodgers or draft the quarterback of the future. They're projecting the latter here, with New York sending its first rounder, number 3, and second rounder, number 34, and its third round pick in 26 to the Titans to have their choice between Ward and Sanders, and taking Ward at number 1.
Tennessee should do that.
The GM in Nashville gets a call, goes, yeah. Okay, sounds good. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's where he goes, we put you on hold.
Hey, we have the idiot on the phone over here.
Someone goes, what are you doing? We're just waiting for just a minute before we tell them yes, because if we say yes too fast, they're going to think something's up. All right? Anyway, hold on. We're on mute, right?
Hold on a minute. I get Abdul Carter and like 3 more picks, and I was maybe taking him anyway? Okay, yeah, sure. Sounds good. Go ahead.
We're on mute, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The Giants
I'm taking
GM,
him off mute now. Here we go.
The Giants
I think
GM
we'll do that.
is giving me a new appreciation for that movie Draft Day, where I go, you know what? No, maybe it's real.
Yeah.
Maybe we do make stupid decisions and do some of these
When the
things.
Saints just goes, we'll give you our entire draft for Ricky Williams.
I've seen it. Not the first time. I mean, just saying. So Cam Ward 1. They do have Shedeur Sanders going number 2 to the Browns. So a lot of, it seems to fit the Browns well. I go, okay, sure. Again, there's some reasons why some teams don't win. Some franchises don't win. Abdul Carter 3, Travis Hunter 4. Just kind of scrolling for SEC or Ole Miss players. Shamar Stewart from A&M seems pretty locked into like that 7-8 range, along with Mikael Williams, the edge from Georgia. Walter Nolan, the first Rebel off the board in this draft, they have him going number 17 to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
In this,
I read a lot of Bengals stuff, and his name comes up quite a bit.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Says Trey Hendrickson was amazing for the Bengals in 2024, leading the NFL with 17.5 sacks, but the rest of the team only had 18.5 combined. So Cincinnati has to focus on improving the pass rush, especially up the middle. Nolan is arguably the best pass rushing defensive tackle in the draft, as his 12 tackles for loss, blah, blah, blah. The play to his potential with a career-high 6.5 sacks. Was this season a one-year blip or the start of things to come? Scouts are confident the latter will come true after discussions with Nolan at the Senior Bowl and Combine. So he helped himself there in Indianapolis.
He had a really strong year from start
all
to
the
finish.
Way, in every way.
Yep. He gets talked. That feels informed. Paul Daner Jr. covers the Bengals for The Athletic, and he mentions Nolan frequently.
This would be a steal down draft. I know he got banged up and he's hurt, but Kelvin Banks, the really good OT from Texas, falling all the way to 25 to the Texans.
Yeah,
that would be pretty good.
You just wonder if they're just kind of worried about his body.
Mm-hmm. They want to start him at right tackle and then have him replace Tunzel down the road. In theory,
yeah.
Again, in theory.
Feel sorry for the person who has to replace Laramie.
Yeah, not the same thing. Travion Henderson, number 33 to the Browns, the other running back outside of Judkins there. Luther Burden falling a little bit, 34 to the Titans. Them using the Giants pick in that hypothetical trade here.
So I'm all in on that trade.
You get Abdul Carter,
Luther Burden,
another pick.
And I was going to take Carter anyway. Yep, yeah. I'm in on that.
Yeah.
Luther Burden becomes a throw-in.
Number 37, Las Vegas Raiders taking Jackson Dart in this draft.
A lot of buzz on Dart to Vegas.
The Raiders are in position to take a chance on a day 2 quarterback, which would be Dart. He needs time to develop behind a veteran signal caller because it will be a big transition from Lane Kiffin's offense to an NFL scheme, but Dart has the upside.
Agreed.
So that's more than fair.
You know, and sometimes people do that and it feels like people get offended by it. Lane's job is to win games at the college level.
Not prep for the NFL.
I mean, and he does some prep. Like Jackson talked about how he had basically run every schematic at different points of his time at Ole Miss. And he spent a lot of time with Joe Judge and Charlie Weiss Sr., I think, has been around some, former NFL offensive coordinator. So I mean, he's done a lot of that work. And Jackson did a lot of work on his own in California with his throwing coach and all of that stuff. But I could see – so who's Vegas's veteran quarterback kind of –
That's what I was thinking. Who did they sign? They have Desmond Ritter, Aiden O'Connell, and Minshew. Is that correct?
Oh, he could learn a lot from Gardner, actually.
Is that right?
I don't know. They were not a good team last year. I did not see them much. And I kind of have a spot for them because I like their stadium so much. Their uniforms are amazing. It'd be a good fit for Jackson. Vegas is probably a quick little flight to Utah. Family be able to get there easily all the time. I'm surprised Salt Lake City hasn't gotten an NFL team.
Salt Lake?
It's a huge market. Does really, really well.
They only have the Jazz?
And have an NHL team now.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, Jimmy G's in the Raiders. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah,
it's fine, too.
Yes, it's perfect.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Austin, thanks for Super Chat. Dart to the Raiders is not the big leap that it would seem. Remember, where did Lane Kiffin get a lot of his offense from? Pete Carroll could be perfect.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure there's similarities there.
I mean, I think Jackson's going to do really well. I've been saying this for a while now.
So. I still think he ends up higher than this.
Well, usually what happens...
My gut says we move up.
Yeah, teams just decide, hey, we got to have a quarterback. And once... Assuming that everyone's right and that Ward and Sanders are the first two off the board, once they're off the board, people go, okay, well, that's the best quarterback. Let's go get him. And someone ends up trading up.
Okay, so I'm confused here because I'm looking this up. Are they assuming Garoppolo is being traded to the Raiders, but his Wikipedia page still has him with the Rams? So what's the situation?
I don't know.
Somebody help me. I'm claiming ignorance here, so somebody educate me. Jordan Watkins might have made a little money. He's got good hands, and he ran a 4.38 on
I mean, Jordan played a lot of the season hurt.
He did. Had a hamstring for a long time. Long time hamstring issue. But good wheels there. This mock draft has Quinshon Judkins going 44 to the Cowboys.
I know it's unpopular to say this, but my understanding is he helped himself at the combine.
Yeah, see that. Trey Harris in this mock going 53 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay. Be good for Trey.
Says the Bucs hit with their pick of Jalen McMillan last season, but Chris Godwin is a pending free agent, and the selection could start their succession plan for Mike Evans. Harris is a long-striding 3-level receiving threat who can create explosive plays for the Bucs' new-look offense under Josh Grizzard. Trey Amos, number 57, to the Carolina Panthers via a trade with the Rams.
Boy, almost had a talented team. Goodness gracious alive.
Defense should continue to be the emphasis for the Panthers at this spot, and Amos is an experienced corner with tremendous ball skills. His 15 pass breakups were the second highest in FBS, and also intercepted 3 passes. And that's not mentioning Princely, who had a pretty good combine as well. Not on this list.
Yeah.
And he's pretty good. He's all right, getting after the pass rusher a little bit. So
he's very good. There is a lot to replace off that team. Not saying they won't do it. Not saying that at all. Be really good for business if they did. Just saying, boy.
Yeah, Utah, they're getting a mascot at some point. They just haven't named one because they're the Utah Hockey Club right now.
Yeah, they had some deal with trying, and then it got.
They're going to be like the Yeti or something. Did I see this?
Yeah, and then the Yeti cooler people fought back.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I've never really been to Salt Lake City. I kind of want to go. I don't know why.
During their inaugural season, the Jazz Bear, the mascot of the Jazz, is also serving as the hockey club's mascot.
Okay.
You okay with that?
I would have been okay with a lot of places just throwing a bear out there and see what happened. It ain't that complicated. It doesn't have to be. I mean, everybody knows the bear. Just throw him out there. He's fine.
Yes, you are correct. In January of 25, revealed the Utah Yetis and singular Utah Yeti brands were refused by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office due to being similar in branding to the Yeti Holdings, the cooler company.
Yeah, I think
the final three.
Salt Lake City is a place that I want to go for like a long weekend just for the hell of it and see what happens.
So all you have to do is lose a contest with Siskey next time, and you get to go somewhere like Utah.
We're about to be at the point in our lives where we can just pick up on a Thursday night and go, let's fly somewhere, see what happens.
The final three are Utah Hockey Club. Just stick with that.
No.
Utah Mammoth and Utah Wasatch.
Mammoth is good. Just go with that. And
while the Wasatch was not one of the 6 finalists, it was intended to honor the idea of a mythical snow creature similar to a Yeti with a Utah-centric approach, inspired by the Wasatch Mountains. One day later, on January 30th, Wasatch has now been removed from the survey.
Yes, too much.
And replaced by the previously announced finalists, the Utah Outlaws.
I don't hate that.
So we're probably Outlaws or Mammoth is what it looks like moving forward.
I mean, Mammoth is kind of cool. And you could just stick with the bear, right? Or would a mammoth be like a woolly mammoth? We'd have to break out like a big bison-looking thing.
Yeah, well, I think it's like or is it, would it be that, or like could you even create like some sort of abominable snowman mammoth-looking thing?
Sure, it snows in Salt Lake. Why not?
But yeah, I would think the mammoth would be the big elephant tusk mammoth, the woolly mammoth thing.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Sure.
We don't have one of those.
Try it.
And if you do anything like to snow, whatever, we already have the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
Who's like right there.
But you're not really competing with that necessarily. Just do your thing.
It's just another hockey team.
Yeah. You don't have to overthink it. You don't.
It sounds pointed, Neal. I'm just saying. You sounded very pointed in that.
You don't have to overthink this. You end up with a can opener.
Alien can opener. Thank you very much.
A can opener who's not from this world.
Can opener.
I don't know if you saw it. They were, what's it called? We've got a rover on Mars.
Uh-huh.
They were showing 360 panoramic view of Mars.
Okay.
And there was a can opener off
it's
on
up
the
there.
right. Yep.
I told you when Carly was little, she couldn't stand him. She'd see him at like a birthday party and like want to walk away. Couldn't like the bear though.
Can't say I blame her. Might should have tried to test it with kids a little bit first.
The goal was for him to be athletic. We heard that. We heard that on this here podcast. Where do you think the costume is?
Burning in hell.
Is he in the portal too?
Nobody's picking that. Nobody's signing that.
Is he going to pop up somewhere as the new mascot?
That costume got told, listen, son, this isn't for you. Go get a job. Find a trade.
Can't even go down a level like the bear.
No.
Well, Lenore Ryan.
Bear got picked up and did fine.
He did. You want to judge human nature a little bit right here real quick?
Yeah, the only thing I want to say about that is the people that made that decision literally knew of a show called Hand Raise Guys that we would have done it for free. I could have been in the room and said, no, it's not good. Kids are going to be scared of that. That's stupid.
It's not even really scared. It just makes a bad flurry. I mean, because we said at the time, to our credit, take the San Jose Shark and put a football uniform on him.
Yeah.
Take the hammerhead shark looking thing, be the shark.
Just run him out there. Yeah.
And run him out there.
Call them and go, hey, where'd you get that costume?
Because he walks, so he can be a land shark.
I don't even think it drives me nuts. It was such
San Jose has one. Take him.
It was such a fumble. And then there's a lot to that. I just didn't. On the pros, cons, it would have been like, phew.
Yeah. Before we go to break, I got one thing for you real quick, okay?
All right.
This stat where you're going to go, oh my God, but you're still going to find it something. So Georgia baseball student athlete Dylan Goldstein, he's been trying to get eligible off the Pavia thing.
Okay.
In short, he's requesting that U.S. District Judge Tillman Tripp E. Self III, there's a name, be removed from the case due to his work as a college football referee. Sportico's Daniel Libet chronicles the myriad instances where sports has collided with the federal bench. Libet points out that a 2018 study published in American Economic Journal, Applied Economics, analyzed Louisiana's juvenile court decisions between 1996 and 2012 and determined that judges issued harsher sentencing when ruling in the immediate aftermath of their home state college football team losing.
Oh, my God. It's horrible.
What the hell?
My God.
And not like a little bit, but a lot. A lot.
So when LSU loses, they just threw an extra 20 years on the
They throw the book at all the
sentence?
juveniles, apparently.
Oh, my God.
From 96 to 2012.
Wow. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Furthermore, CSRI determined, this is actually a little more odd to me. I'm surprised by this. Judges that were born in Southeastern Conference states were 43% more likely to rule in favor of the NCAA than those born outside the SEC's footprint.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's
a lot there.
There's a lot there.
Yes.
I need more time to digest that, to think about.
But yes, in your home state of Louisiana, from 96 to 2012, judges ruled much harsher toward juveniles after LSU lost football games.
So the attorney should have said, hey, can we punt this for a couple of weeks?
Can I get a continuance? LSU plays the Citadel in 3 weeks.
Tigers lost to Alabama Saturday.
We are not doing this today.
Not doing this today. That's wild. That somebody was still in that bad of a mood to go, you know what? Screw your life. The Tigers lost by 6.
Gavel.
Or, you know what? We just beat Auburn.
Freedom for everyone.
I know you killed 7 people, but
go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Yeah. It's great. Podcast brought to you in part by the Men's Clinic. It's in Madison and Brandon. Their mission is simple. They want to make sure patients are as healthy and as strong as possible throughout the aging process. They optimize testosterone, improve sleep, reduce inflammation, treat insulin resistance, and much more. It's themanthing.com, or you can give them a call in Madison, 601-607-7869. They can treat you from anywhere after that first visit. Don't even really make appointments. Show up. They will take care of you. Again, that's themanthing.com.
We're brought to you by Easy Hemp Co. Easy is a hemp-infused sparkling water. It's a guilt-free alcohol alternative. It's a natural way to relax and unwind. It's all natural, made with real fruit, no added sugar, low-calorie, gluten-free. One 12-ounce can of Easy has 3 milligrams of THC. With Easy, it's easy to avoid the gummy scare and control your experience. So change the can, not the ritual. It's easy. Visit easyhempco.com to view the Easy Finder to find Easy near you. Easy is Farm Bill compliant with hemp derived from THC, CBD extracts. Easy is for people 21 and older. Enjoy responsibly. I'll have a mailbag to you at rebelgrove.com tomorrow. It's brought to you by Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you as a licensed agent with Sotheby's and a supporter of all things Ole Miss. Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask Art how. 612-805-5929 or email Art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com.
Pocket Sauce brought to you by Northeast Spark, the fastest, most reliable fiber internet option available. While you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends, they offer both residential and business packages with speeds up to 2 gigabits. To learn more, register for service. That's AnySpark.com. AnySpark, get connected, stay local. So I think you mentioned this a couple weeks ago, and I think we thought nobody else would hit it, but the Knicks got to your 40-20 mark. Didn't you have that?
No, the Knicks didn't get there.
They're 40-20.
But they lost the 20 before they won the 40.
Oh, you have to win the 40th first, not just simply have that record.
Yeah. You have to win 40 before you lose 20.
That feels semantics when you have the 40-20 record.
And they're probably a contender.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of asking. Are they a legitimate contender out of the East?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they'll have their hands full. They'll have to play really well. Cleveland's very good. Boston. But yeah, they're a contender. Because the East also is not as just cutthroat as the West.
Yeah. Downstream, you're not getting hit the same way.
So but yeah, I mean, in a world where Boston and New York in an Eastern Conference semifinal, sure, that's what we're headed for.
Florida State, Clemson, and the ACC all having meetings today to announce some level of agreement between the three schools and a settlement that's going to bring 4 ongoing lawsuits to rest, it seems.
Common sense kicked in here.
That is going to happen with a revenue distribution model that will favor the teams actually getting viewership. So those teams will get more money than the teams that are not getting watched on television.
And Florida State doesn't have to admit out loud the truth, which is that the Big Ten and the SEC don't want them.
Yes.
Same for Clemson.
Also, a change in the financial penalties for exiting the league's grant of rights before the conclusion. Should they ever get to the point and someone does want them, their win here is that they actually get a number. They've never really had a number before, but now it goes, hey, it's expensive, but here, feel free.
You can do it. This is what it will cost.
Correct. So that's where this is sitting here. But they are all going to, at least for now, play along and move on from there. So good for them, I guess. Sure. As I mentioned at the top of the show, Ole Miss baseball off today. They have their game with Southeastern Louisiana canceled. They'll be one game behind, so at some point they'll play a doubleheader against somebody or they'll add one. When it happens this early and is this planned out, I do anticipate them finding that 56th game. I do think they will play that. It won't just be a dead spot on the schedule. But look, they're up to 17 in the polls. They are 10-1 right now after 11 games. It's the best you could hope for. They go 2-1 in Arlington, played well out there. I still have questions. I still have more I want to see out of the offense in different ways. While you get full credit if you're Riley Maddox and Hunter Elliott for getting off the field despite walks, and the ability to get out of innings without giving up the big number is a skill. That is absolutely a skill to stay composed, limit damage, and get off. However, walking 4 over 2 innings is going to give up runs against A&M and Tennessee and Arkansas and people like that. So it is a positive and a area of concern at the same time when you have a lot of free passes. And then it's a nitpick, but you would like for them offensively to put bad teams away a little more. They end up winning games 7-3, 8-3 instead of 13-1. And it's a nitpick, but they don't kind of add on and keep going in some ways. So,
you know, my thing on this, and this is not popular when people do this because it's not hot takey, and we work in kind of a field that is getting more and more hot takey. I think it's just too early to judge a lot.
It is.
Like, you can watch, and you've watched, and I think you can go, hey, I think they're better. I think there's a more of an upside, but that doesn't mean, because what you can't do, because you haven't seen, none of the other teams have played SEC teams yet either. And so you don't really know. You can kind of get a feel for something, but you can't really factor in, okay, well, what are these teams going to be like when they're playing in decent weather, when they're playing each other?
Yeah, what do I know? Tennessee is really good and Missouri is really bad. That's what I know.
That's about it.
and everything else is just kind of in the middle.
Yeah, like you can, and I've seen people do like
that Arkansas series is going to tell us a lot and be pretty fascinating in opening weekend.
Yeah. But even at the end of that series, for either team, I'm not going to be prepared to crown them or indict them. It's just too early.
Their schedule, given the SEC, is pretty good. They need to take advantage of it. You avoid A&M. You play Missouri. Like it could. You avoid LSU. I think LSU is good. It's kind of weird them not being on the schedule, but they're not. So just we'll see. I mean, no, I don't think anybody knows. No, you're right. They are more athletic. They're more fun to watch. They play better defense. They seem more fundamentally sound, and you can definitely tell that Joel Mangrum has had a positive influence on this baseball team in multiple ways. What he's been able to do with the pitchers, from a holding runners to not wasting pitches to going after hitters to loosening Mike up, because Mike has more time to play CEO. He's not as strung out in different ways. It's helped some of his micromanagement in multiple ways.
Sure.
It's been a huge, huge impact to where there's part of you that goes, Mike, why'd you not do that 2 years ago? Because it'd probably be a different situation right now in some ways.
Probably.
Got kind of forced into it, but credit for doing it, not taking that away. And then it has made a big difference. But no, I don't think anybody knows. I mean, I guess it was after Friday night's game. We go down to the field for interviews, and we always talk to whoever after radio talks to them first. And Brad Henderson had come down, the color commentator for Ole Miss baseball, and I usually will walk over and say something to him, and we'll have a couple comments. And he walked over and he goes, "They any good?" And I went, "I don't know." And we kind of had like a back and forth of, "Don't know yet, not sure."
And
then we kind of both just shook our shoulders and walked off and went, "I don't know."
It's more than fair.
I mean, winning these games is better than losing them, but
yeah.
And they haven't even really had a close one. I mean, they've handled the last 2 weeks without much, including a Southern Miss win that looks better and better by the day.
Yeah.
Southern Miss goes to TCU, takes 2 out of 3 in Fort Worth.
Oh, when I say you don't know, I'm not saying that means they suck. I'm just saying
they might be better than we think.
You don't know. And it's, you can't do it without seeing everybody else.
Especially in this league.
You got to watch Texas and Kentucky and Florida and everybody. You got to get, and that's hard to do because they're not playing like opponents.
I mean, here is your top 25 as of right now. LSU 1, Tennessee 2, Arkansas 3, Georgia 5, Florida 7, Clemson 11, Texas 12, Oklahoma 13, Texas A&M 14, Ole Miss 17, Vanderbilt 18, Southern Miss 20, Auburn 22, Alabama 23, Oklahoma State 25.
Yeah.
Those are all teams you either have played or they played teams you're playing. One or the other.
Yeah.
The league is what it is. It's half the damn top 25. So that's where you are, including some teams that don't put a ton of money into it. Oklahoma doesn't have $4 million in NIL. They still got a good baseball team this year. Downstream, we'll see. Don't know, but
I know a couple people there. They have
select people who are trying to help.
Well, they are more invested today than they were even when Ole Miss played them for the title.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, we will wrap there for the day. Come back, talk tomorrow with you again. Ole Miss, Tennessee tomorrow night. Look a little closer at the Vols tomorrow. Good slate of SEC games. Maybe we'll get an upset or two to discuss tonight. Is a lot of weather coming, so stay safe, be vigilant of whatever's coming this afternoon with that, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.